Uganda is located in eastern Africa, west of Kenya, south of South Sudan, east of Democratic Republic of Congo, and north of Rwanda. Uganda has a population of 38,319,241 people, and English is the main language. The dominant religions in Uganda are Protestantism, Roman Catholicism, and Islam. Uganda's government is a presidential republic and its capital is Kampala. Uganda gained its independence on October 9th, 1962 from the UK. It has a GDP of $2,000 per capita as of 2015. There are about 1,461,700 people living with HIV and AIDS, and 25% of children between the ages of 5 and 14 undergo child labor in Uganda. Life expectancy at birth is 54 years for men and 56.9 years for women, while the poverty rate is 19.5%. Although the literacy rate of Ugandan children is relatively high, at 87.43% for boys and 86.57% for girls, we plan to improve school infrastructure and roads. Uganda is amongst the least developed of developing countries.
A major issue in Uganda is the poor education environment children face every day. Due to the poor infrastructure and lack of facilities in Uganda, schools have to hold their classes outside and do not have the basic materials. This inadequate education environment hinders the learning abilities of children. The problem is not a lack of education. It is a lack of adequate facilities which impacts the overall educational development of the students in Uganda.
As the Ugandan Association for Change, we have a $30 million budget which we plan to use to create a better infrastructure to allow children to receive a better education. By creating roads and bridges in rural areas, children will be able to travel to school faster and with more ease, and by building schools, teachers will not have to facilitate class outside.
In order to achieve this goal, we plan to pair with the Foundation for Sustainable Development to combat the problems that Uganda faces. The Foundation for Sustainable Development seeks to create sustainable outcomes in order to provide a better life for people in need. To improve educational facilities, we will utilize our funds in order to build new schools, bridges, and roads for children. For this, we must take into account the environmental impacts that construction would have on Uganda. In order to avoid mass deforestation, we will utilize land which has no trees. If we do have to cut down trees, we will plant fruit trees alongside the road in order to ensure our project won't have devastating effects to the local ecosystem or those dependent on trees.
In order to ensure that the people of Uganda will continue to be able to build roads and schools after we leave, we are going to implement an education system teaching them how to build roads, bridges, and schools. We will employ Ugandan citizens to build the roads, bridges, and schools alongside of us, and this will allow them to become independent and complete these tasks on their own as they see fit. Due to the increase in jobs this project will take, poverty will decrease and the economy will prosper.
We will use a $30 million budget for our project. To achieve this budget, we plan to hold a benefit concert. At this concert, we will have a live performance from Chance the Rapper and country superstars such as Florida Georgia Line, which will be held outside on the National Mall in D.C. To add on to this, our organization is heavily funded by sponsorships. Organizations that will sponsor us include Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and the Foundation for African Children's Education. We will utilize the funds from the benefit concert and sponsorships from fellow organizations to construct schools, roads, and bridges, allowing us to improve the overall infrastructure of the country. We will allocate our funds between construction materials, trees, labor expenses, emergency funds, and other necessary expenses that may arise, including food, flights, and shelter for our volunteers and paid workers.
As the Ugandan Association for Change, we plan to make a difference in the lives of Ugandan citizens. Together, we have implemented an association that not only helps education in children, but also improves the quality of life in Uganda by providing basic necessities.